Roll the camera. Okay.
Scene 1, take 1.
Kia ora, welcome to Waikawa Bay School News. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Samantha. Today on Waikawa Bay School News, we have an emotional story from the Wellington tsunami, a killer dinosaur alive in California, and the amazing exploits of a world-famous adventurer, and the latest weather report. But first up,
A tsunami struck Wellington in the early hours of this morning, following the undersea earthquake in Cook Strait. There has been a lot of destruction, especially along the south coast. Many people have been injured or killed. Many more are missing, although exact numbers are not yet known. A full civil defence emergency has been declared and help has been sent from all around New Zealand. There are already some amazing stories of survival coming out of the disaster zone. One concerns a young girl called Madison Barclay, who was in her house in Lael Bay when the tsunami struck. Here is our on-the-spot reporter, Rachel Beach.
Hello, and I'm Rachel Beach, and we have Madison Barclay. Hi Madison, and thanks for joining us. What was it like when the tsunami hit your house?
It was terrible, and to be honest, I nearly peed myself. I had never seen anything like it. Well, when I hop in the bath, I make a tsunami of my own, but nothing like this.
What did your house look like after the tsunami had hit?
It was terrible. Most of the walls were gone. The furniture was smashed to pieces. But worst of all was that I couldn't find my dad. He had been in his bedroom, but now he was gone.
That's awful! What were you thinking?
I thought he was dead, but when I went to the nearest civil defence centre to report him missing, I found him, alive. He had been swept away by the water, but he caught hold of a tree and saved him. He's in a bad way, but at least he's still with us.
Thanks, Madison. And that's all from me. Back to Samantha in the studio.
an interesting interview. Thanks, Rachel. And now for something completely different. From our correspondent in the United States of America, an incredible story has come out of California. In Death Valley, a real-life dinosaur has been seen, and it almost killed a person. The dinosaur has been positively identified as a Tyrannosaurus rex. Scientists are trying to find out how this dinosaur could be alive now when no others are. This is of little concern to the man who was nearly killed by the T-Rex, though. The pizza delivery driver was bound for a small town in Death Valley when he had his horrifying experience. He has recovered enough to give interviews, though, including to Waikawa Bay School News. He had an amazing story to tell. Now over to you, over to our reporter, Ashish Yadav.
Thanks, Samantha. I'm Ashish Yadav, and joining me now is Jackson Boyce. How big was the dinosaur, Jackson, and what did it look like?
I would say about 50 to 60 feet long and about 25 to 30 feet high. It was huge, especially its mouth and teeth and claws. It had green, scaly skin and walked on its hind legs. It looked like all the pictures of T-Rexes that I've ever seen.
What did you do when you saw it?
I ran and hid behind my Domino's pizza car, but it had seen me and kept on coming. So I opened the trunk and took out the big order of meat lovers pizzas, and I had been delivering a dozen of them. There was nothing else I could do. I threw them at him.
And then what happened? Did it try to eat you?
I ran. I'm sure it was going to, but when it smelt these meat lovers' pizzas, it went for them and ate them all up, boxes and all. Then it didn't seem interested in me anymore. I guess it had a full stomach. It wandered off towards Nevada. I wasn't going after it.
And we're out of time now. Over to you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Ashish. And now for something completely different. You've probably all heard of the famous New Zealander adventurer Kane, Wise Guide Woodford. He has been travelling the world for a few years now in his own little single-engine airplane. His wife and 2 children constantly anxious about him. Woodford's last expedition went bad when his plane crashed in the Amazon jungle while searching for the fabled El Dorado, the lost city of gold, 2 days ago. Weeks after losing contact with the outside world, Woodford made it out of the jungle alive in a rescue helicopter. Other well-known explorers who have tried to find El Dorado, like Nico Van Beek and Gus Enright, have not been so fortunate. They are still missing, presumed dead. Waikawa Bay School News has been granted an exclusive live interview with Kane Woodford. Without further ado, we now cross to the town of Kania in Brazil, near the Amazon River. Let's cross to our on-the-spot reporter who has more on the situation. Over to you, Lena Shoney.
Thanks, Stephanie. I'm Lena Shoney, and joining me now is the rich and famous Kane Woodford. Now, Kane, how did this all start?
Well, I was in my plane flying over the jungle looking for a place to sit down, but my engine cut out for some reason. I went down, smashed through the leaves, branches and leaves, and hit the ground pretty hard. I was knocked out cold.
What happened when you woke up?
When I came to, I found I was covered in shattered glass from the windshield. I immediately smelled something burning. The engine was on fire. I grabbed what I could from the wreckage of the plane and got out as quickly as I could. Thankfully, I hadn't been too badly hurt.
How were you rescued?
The burning plane sent up a lot of black smoke, and when it had burned out, I made a huge fire from the wooden stuff and kept it burning. It was weeks until a search party found me, and by then I was wasted, really tired and hungry. When I got into the helicopter, I shouted hooray before I fainted.
Thanks for your time, Kane. Now over to you, Nick, with the weather update.
Thank you, Lena. Hello everyone, I'm Nick, and here is the weather forecast for tomorrow. First, the situation. A large high is above central New Zealand, bringing calm, settled weather to the lower North Island, Cook Strait, and the upper South Island. There is an easterly flow over the upper North Island and a westerly flow over the lower South Island, bringing wet weather. Here's Gus with the details.
Thank you, Nick. So for Northland, Auckland and Bay of Plenty and Waikato, showers and rain. For the West Coast, Fiordland and Otago and Southland, showers and rain for everywhere in between, fine and sunny. And where should you go for the best weather tomorrow? Well, Waikawa Bay, of course.
Thank you, Gus. That's all from us for now. Good night, New Zealand. Catch you tomorrow. Back to the news desk with Stephanie and Samantha.
Thanks, Nick. What an eventful day it has been. Our thanks to our hard-working reporters and their crews who have been gathering news for this bulletin.
Stay tuned for the news update later this evening on today's stories and any breaking news that comes to hand. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
From the whole team at Waikawa Bay School News, goodbye, inoho rā.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.